Hello, hello, and welcome to our weekly Monday live update about immigration, know your rights, and all the good stuff. And in this one, we'll tackle how to protect yourself from deportation, how you can um, avoid getting into the worst that can happen. And so we're sharing this on all our platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm going to join TikTok as well in a second. But a lot of people are wondering, what can I do to protect myself from deportation? So, those of you that are joining right now, welcome, welcome. This is our weekly live update. And let me know in the comments where you're from. Curious always to know where people are tuning in. And we are streaming on all platforms, including TikTok in this minute. So, Um, I think, and obviously, as always, I'll give you time to ask all your questions. So, drop your questions in the comments. I think the biggest thing is that people need to know their rights, right? You need to know your rights in terms of how to protect yourself from being arrested, being detained. We hear crazy stories about even U.S. citizens being detained wrongfully, racial profiling. So the best thing to do is, first of all, know your rights, know what to say, what not to say. But the second thing that people are not talking about is that you have to make sure that you collect your documents in a safe place. Have all the documents, your identity documents, your financial documents, everything in a safe place. In case you do get detained, you also have the option to share it with family members that will be able to use it. If you need a bond to get you out of detention, you have those documents in a safe place, like financial documents. Most people don't realize it. A lot of clients that we hear got detained. They have no idea where their IDs are, identified documents. Some people are confused for being from one country, and so get your documents in order, know your rights, what to say, what not to say, and always have a backup plan. Make sure you secure who's going to be the attorney you're going to be working with. Welcome, welcome, my friends on TikTok as well. We have a lot of questions coming in today. There's a lot of things that happened this past week. A lot of executive orders that came out. TPS for Venezuela was stopped. There's a concern that other programs are going to be stopped. People are losing their legal status in the United States. So people are worried, and we're here for to talk about this. But again, the best thing to do to protect yourself from being arrested or detained is to know your rights. Never open the door to an ICE agent unless they have a warrant signed by a judge. I mentioned that many, many times. Um, they will use different tactics. They will pretend to be the police. They'll pretend to be FBI agent. Always ask for to know who is here. Never open the door. And again, always look for those warrants. They need to be signed by a judge. If not, you have to verbally say, I'm not going to open the door. I need you to leave, and say it verbally. And then they're going to leave, right? So it's that's just how it is. People are being detained all over the country, and people are not understanding their rights, and that's the reason why it's happening. All right, guys, we have a lot of questions here, and we'll start with our friends on YouTube here. So please drop your questions. We have a question from Lisa. Should I be worried going for an interview with UCIS? That's a good question. So, some people still have interviews with immigration, right? And, if you had any prior violations, we had one instance in San Diego where a couple went to the interview, and it looked like the spouse had a prior issues with immigration. There was no deportation order, but he had some prior issue with immigration. And guess what? At the interview, ICE agents were waiting for him because what? He had apparently an order, a removal in absentia, which he wasn't aware about. Or he wasn't aware, and ICE agents were there. So make sure that before you go for your immigration interviews at UCIS, you verify that your records are clean, because ICE agents could be there. In this case, he literally finished the interview, and ICE agents were there, and he was taken into custody. So you got to be careful. Um, let's see here. We've got some good questions here on TikTok. Do you think the birthright citizenship can be deleted? Essentially, it can be defeated. So, right now there's a big lawsuit focused on the government against the birthright citizenship. Um, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, this is a very, very big thing that he's trying to essentially think about it from late February. If this thing passed, so birthright citizenship, the meaning behind it is that from February 17, any person who is here on a visa, not a citizen, not a green card holder, or undocumented, they have children in the United States, those children are now going to be U.S. citizens. That's highly controversial, and we don't think that it is going anywhere. Um, Emma is asking, after 8 months wait. Oops, your question went up. Thanks, guys. After 8 months wait, send me an email. We have to take action, but it says actively being reviewed. Your case might be actively reviewed. It could be pending review right now. So if it's with UCIS, I would follow up with him. Thanks, guys, for the hearts. I appreciate you. And don't forget, we have a challenge here. Um, the the um, the heart challenge. I filed my 45 in January 3rd, EB1B. Is the waiting time going to be longer? Um, so, like I mentioned before, Rodrigo and others, beginning of the year, the visa bulletin is moving a little bit slow. In this case, you should be current because EB1 is not, there's no wait time. But the problem is that interviews are still behind to be scheduled. So I think, you're in a good category. You're EP1A. EP1A is like the best category. So I think you should be good. I think hopefully in the next few months, you should be getting your interview. But other people are less lucky than you. Yeah, and you're at 45, so I think it's just things are just taking a little bit longer, but you're gonna be good. Um, we have a question here. U.S. citizen. My wife and two kids have been approved by USCIS and NVC for their visas, but it's been 2 years now, and we still haven't gotten a visa appointment. So um, now that means so you're a citizen and the case has been approved, but there's still no visa appointment. It really depends on what embassy. I'm curious to know what embassy you're at because we have a lot of cases right now where people are U.S. citizen spouses and they still don't get interviews because of the backlog in the embassies, specifically for Pakistan and for Nigeria. Those embassies are the worst. I just posted the link in the YouTube comments. If you guys want to go live with me, feel free to do that. I'll take your questions live. Let's take a few questions from Instagram, and then I'll go back to TikTok. It's a lot going on right now. Kamaris, let's see here. Should we be worried about DACA? This is from Instagram right now. Honestly, I would be worried about any of the temporary status like TPS. Who would have thought they would cancel TPS, right? I don't think it's going to do anything major to DACA, but it is a concern for sure. If you're DACA, I would definitely be worried, and I would look for any other ways to move from DACA. So, for example, if you have a degree in an employer, then apply for a job, apply for a green card through an employer or the H-1B. Now is the H-1B season. You guys should be doing it now. Um, let's see here. What do the warrants look like? So the question is about the warrants that I mentioned before, signed by a judge. So I made a video on TikTok. You scroll through my feed, and it's also on my Instagram, where I talk about the difference in the warrants. So I show you the warrant from ICE just has DHS on it. If it's a court warrant, it should say some kind of court, district court, and you'll see at the bottom honorable, like a judge signature. It's very easy to distinguish because the ICE warrants are signed by ICE. They're not signed by a court. So again, if you want to join on video on TikTok, you can use the just request to join. Anybody can join the guests, and I'll get you guys all live like we do every week. And the same thing on YouTube. Um, Lisa is asking, can you help clients in all 50 states? Yes. And there's another question here on YouTube. So, before we continue, yes, absolutely. I can help clients in all 50 states. And, those of you watching this on YouTube, this is the number you want to text me if you want to book a consultation with me. And those of you guys watching on TikTok, if you go to my bio, there is a phone number in my bio. Just screenshot it and send me a text right now. Say that you're watching the live and you want to book a consultation. A lot of people were trying to book calls with me in the past few weeks, and many of you were able to do so. We talked about green card issues. We talked about deportation protection. We talked about moving your case from one petition to another, self petition. So if you want to book consultations, TikTok, go to the link in my bio. There's a phone number. Send me a text. And if you're watching this on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, the number is on the screen. Just screenshot it and use that number to get in touch with me. And that, let me see here, and I'll bring it back again throughout the show, so you'll be able to do that. The embassy is in Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, Kenya is also very slow right now. Let's see here. Let's take a video on TikTok, and then I'll get somebody. Those of you who want to join on Instagram and YouTube, I'm posting the link, and you can join the video. We've got Mr. Shams. Hello, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Let me just make it a little bit louder. There we go.
Yeah, thank you very much for your life and information.
Of course.
My questions is my family verification approved, and my family is interview for India, but India has not given visa for me.
Okay.
And a little bit problem with Afghanistan, and I right now change case for Oman.
Okay.
And I don't know the Oman how much time is take it. Can you please tell me the process?
Yeah. So, like I said, that's a good question. Many of these embassies, they don't advertise their processing times. We only know this based on clients and being in our association. But I can tell you that this part of the world, including Oman, they're not. They're a little bit slow right now. So what you have to do is and I tell this to all the clients, is continue to follow up with this particular post until they finally schedule you. That's the only thing you can do right now. Like there's no physical way for you to expedite.
Yeah, it's my case back to State Department right now.
Okay, so that's a different story. If they send your case back to the State Department, then we have to find out why it happened. And if you want, I can help you offline, because it's, I don't want you to give too much details here, because we don't know who's listening, by the way. But if you want to talk to me directly, just send me a text and I can help you figure it out.
Okay. That's
Okay.
good.
All right. Thank you, Shams. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Like I said, guys, there's a lot of things that I can tell you obviously here, but we don't know who's watching. Maybe ICE is watching. They probably are watching our videos. So I'm giving you guys a lot of information, valuable, but a lot of things that are specific to your case, I can only do on a consultation, for many reasons. Also to protect your rights, but also not to give ICE or any other government agencies inside information as to how we are advising our clients to protect themselves, and that we can do only on one-on-one consultations. And we help a lot of clients. Like, for example, I had a call from a guy, and he said, "Oh, they came to my apartment several times. Our neighbors are worried. They're showing the photo." And I tell him, "Listen, first of all, it's illegal for them to do that. It's deceptive practices. You don't have to open the door. None of the neighbors have to open the door. They don't have to disclose information just because they're walking around with a photo and saying they're looking for you. That's totally illegal. So, or if they're calling people and say, 'Hey, we are calling, we're looking for this and this. This person is in your building. He's a dangerous criminal. We need to know where he is.' Don't fall for that. They're trained to spread lies, and you guys, you should know better than that." All right, let's see here. Um, let's take another question. We have a lot of questions here on TikTok. I have DACA EAD expires in August. Um, will new citizen be renewed or renewal? So you should definitely renew it when you're supposed to renew it. So it's including your DACAs and your EADs, renew them when the time is right. Don't wait for the last minute. I would highly encourage you guys to renew it. Let's take some questions on Instagram here. We got a lot of people here too. Is there any changes to on getting citizenship right now? Um, let me see here. No changes on citizenship. Everything is the same on citizenship. In fact, if you qualify for citizenship, you should apply for your citizenship as soon as you can. Let's take Joshua has been waiting on YouTube. Let's take Joshua, and then we'll take some more questions on Instagram. Those of you watching on Instagram, on TikTok, make sure you share the live right now.
Hey,
And our goal is here. Can you set up your camera, please, if you can?
wow, wow, I'm well, I kind of look ugly right now, so
All right, no worries. Let me know where you're
okay.
from and ask you a question.
I'm from China, and my
Okay.
priority date is like 20, 20, 20, 20,007
Okay,
and
2007. Okay.
August 21st,
Okay.
and my case is like it's my F4,
Okay.
and I wonder when the visa bulletin move forward.
Okay. That's a good question. So he has F4 sibling, right? Your brother or sister filed for you, right?
Yeah,
And so priority day has been pending for so long, and people are wondering what's going to happen. So anybody who is waiting for their brothers or sisters, siblings, um, the 2025 visa bulletin is going to move a little very slow, especially until I would say June or July of 2025. You're not going to see too much movement in F4. You're going to see a little bit more movement after September of 2025. And the reason why is because they have a shortage of family-based petitions. And so, unfortunately, F4, F3, a lot of the family petitions are not going to move fast this year. Some of the employment base will, but not for the family. And I think it's my personal prediction that F4 is not going to move too fast, unfortunately. I know it's not
okay,
the best news, but that's what I see is going to happen.
okay,
Okay? And so all you have to do is just wait. That's all you can do right now.
okay.
All right? Thanks, Joshua. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish I had better news for you guys, but the visa bulletin is really slow, and it's just what it is. All right. Thank you so much for the hearts and likes, and don't forget our challenge, um, the cloud heart. Click on that one. Will President Trump increase the H-1B visas availability and end what is expected for EB3? It's a good question from Zautu on TikTok. Thanks, Sakura. Appreciate that. And there you go, guys. That's what I was waiting for. I don't think H-1B will increase this year. I mean, we're already in the H-1B season right now. If you're looking to apply for that visa, you have to get your employer to do that for you sooner than later. Maybe next year they'll come up with some kind of a solution for that, but I don't think so. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. In terms of EB3, EB3 is also going to move very, very slow. EB3 is the work green card category. And thanks a lot, guys. And it's going to move very slow as well. So, unfortunately, on that side, we cannot do anything. We have a good question here from Mencam. Is it possible for more travel bans this year? I think the travel bans are coming. They're coming in about 2 months. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in one of the executive orders, there's an order that talks about protecting our borders. And in that particular executive order, they're talking about vetting and all these procedures for making sure that they can vet people that are currently inside the United States, but also people that are coming in. And they're going to come up with a list. Thanks, guys. We reached our goal right now. Thanks, Yo. They're going to come up with a list of countries that from those countries, they'll claim that people are not being vetted enough. They're not being checked. And there's a risk for those people coming to this country, and there could be a harm for our country. Thank you so much, Rosas. I appreciate that. So as a result, in 60 days, we're going to have a list of countries. And from those countries, people are going to be either banned from coming in, or before they're going to come in, they're going to have serious restrictions. And we already know which countries are those. And I think that in addition to that, people that are inside the United States from those countries are going to find it very difficult to renew their visas and or get extensions or travel. So the travel bans are coming, which means that if you have visa stamping, if you have to travel out of the country, if you need to do anything, right now is the time to do it if you have the right documents to travel, because in 2 or 3 months from now, when they initiate this vetting list, you're not going to be able to leave the country. It's going to be very difficult. Let's see here. I'm trying to click on this one. If H-1B employee place of work has changed to another city, which is only 30 miles away and in a different MSA, do we need an amendment petition is needed? This is a question from Ali. So when you file the H-1B, you need to file a labor condition application. If you're going to have a new LCA, Ali, in this case, then I would definitely do an amendment just to be safe, especially now with the different investigations and the raids. We don't want you to be in a position of trouble. So I would definitely file an amendment if possible. All right, let's see. More people want to join our video, and we're taking a video from TikTok, and then we'll take more people on YouTube who want to join our video, or Instagram. Like I said, Instagram, we're doing the stream through a software, so I can't stream. I cannot take the streams on Instagram directly, but we can take the questions. Where are you from?
Well, my husband is from Guatemala.
Okay.
I'm an American citizen.
Okay, perfect.
We've been in process since 2017,
Okay,
and we got the 601 approval.
okay,
We've just been waiting for like a whole year now for the interview in Guatemala.
okay.
And he's scared because he's here in the United States. He's scared to go back because he
Absolutely.
doesn't have any problems, but because of the administration.
Right.
So can he be deported if he gets picked up? Like if he's in the car with me?
No, I don't believe so, because you guys already went already that far. And if he has no criminal record, and you guys are done with the 601, he has almost an interview ready, right? Does he have a date for the interview?
No.
Okay. I mean, like I said, there's always a risk that he could be detained, but even if he's detained, he's easily bondable because he has a
Okay.
U.S. citizen spouse. He's not a criminal. So even if they take him and you have a mean officer, because right now a lot of these ICE officers, they can see what's happening, and they know if somebody is pending, or if they know if somebody is not at risk. If they do detain that person, they're doing it to spite. All right.
Okay.
So I don't think they're going to do that to you. But we had a case where somebody was in your situation and they detained the spouse. We were able to bond him out in literally 6 hours. He was already out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was just a waste of resources for all of them. But I don't think he'll be fine, and he should prepare for his interview, and he'll be fine. And that's the best way to fix somebody's papers right now.
Yeah, because the only thing he's ever been charged with was driving with no driver's license, but we paid it off and everything.
Yeah.
And so I told him not to drive no more
Yeah.
because in here they won't give him his driver's license even though we have the 601.
Of course. No, I know some states they won't do it, but you guys are going to be fine. You're on the right path to legalize him, and that's the best way to do it. So, like I said, if you're undocumented right now, you're married to a citizen, and you don't have any other way to do it in terms of DACA or anything like that, then the 601A is the best way to do it, and it works. And don't be afraid to do it. So,
Okay.
I
Thank
keep my
you so
fingers
much.
crossed.
I love following you. You're awesome.
Thank you so
do an
much.
awesome job for everybody.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the kind words. We've got a question from Teddy here. I'm a U.S. citizen. I have an I-130 petition pending for my mother who is living in the States with TPS. Can I also have another I-130 petition for my brother who is living in the state with TPS process also? Absolutely. So as a U.S. citizen, Teddy, or anyone, you can petition for your parent, but you can also petition for your sibling as long as you make enough money. So, I just posted a video today about the poverty guidelines and how much money you have to make to sponsor 2 people. It's 25,550. Then, look at the chart. It tells you how much 3 or 4 people. But absolutely, Ted, you can sponsor your brother as well. And hopefully, hope for the best. Thanks, guys, for the special request. And if you want to go live on YouTube or anywhere, let me take another question from Instagram here. We've got, let's see here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. What about people who are in waiting for status? Should they also remain silent strategy with ICE or respond with details they ask? Well, again, if you are in status, that's a good question from Instagram. If you are pending, right, and you have an application pending, you don't have to answer. I mean, if you have the papers on you, you can show them, of course, but it is not your obligation to tell them anything. You can say, and you have to verbalize it. You have to say, I choose to remain silent. I choose to invoke my fifth. I do not wish to answer your questions. If they come to your house, you have to verbalize it. I need you to leave. If they have no warrant, I'm not going to open the door. You repeat it several times, they're going to leave, right? They're using tactics to scare people. They're using tactics to prey on immigrants who don't know their rights. And if you know your rights, they will leave. They're not going to break the door unless you open it. If you open the door, they will come in, obviously, right? So a decision be made on our 30. How do I know what the decision is? This is from Poison Ivy. Thanks for the question. So you need to, if you didn't get the decision, you have to call immigration and tell them that the decision hasn't arrived in the mail, and they will send you a duplicate decision. It happens all the time, especially for, like our immigration cases, we get those duplicate decisions all the time. All right, really good question, guys. And like I said, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of fear. Denise is asking, can you please put the phone number? Okay, I'll put the phone number again. If you guys want to get a hold of me, if you want to book consultations, the number is on the screen right now for our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook people. Please text me right now, saying on the live. And if you guys are watching this on TikTok, go to my bio right now. There's a phone number there. Screenshot it and send me a text and say, hey, I want to book a consultation with you. I saw you on the live. I want to do it now. The best thing you can do for yourselves is invest in an immigration consultation with any attorney that you respect, because it will give you the information that you need and also gives you a plan of action. What happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? The more you know, the less you're going to be afraid. So the number is in the bio. Just send me a text and I'll be more than honored to help you. How much is a consultation? They start at $150. And like I said, and we do this in all 50 states, and we can help you. Let me see here. But that's the reason why, we're doing these lives, to spread as much information as possible. There's many, many attorneys who work hard after work to go live and spread the information. And we're doing this for you guys. And hopefully you find it helpful, obviously. But like I said, that's the best way to have interaction with the attorneys. There's a lot of attorneys who do these lives, but there are hundreds of attorneys who don't put out free content, who don't give you the time of day. And so kudos to all the attorneys who are out there doing the videos, doing the lives, giving you the time. I think it's important. We have a question here from Maria. I have a question. My mom made a request for me in 98. You have 245I, but she passed 7 years ago. The question is, I don't have children. My sister just received her residency. Is there a way for my nephew to start a petition, or should I just wait? There are situations where you can still save that petition by using what is called a substitute sponsor. It depends on what stage of the application your mother passed away. I wouldn't give up on this petition yet. So Maria, please send me a text to the number on the screen, and I'd love to help you and see if we can save your mother's petition. Remember, even if the petitioner dies, you can still save it depending on the stage of the petition. There's a substitute sponsor act. Don't give up. I have a client who's like, oh, my mother filed for me. She passed away. Do I have to restart everything? I waited for 14 years. I'm like, no, you don't, because there's a way to file a substitute sponsor. We can save your case and save you years of wait. So let's make sure we can do that for you as well. We have a question for from Teddy. I don't see the video that was posted today. Was he posted on YouTube or another social? Oh, Teddy, the video that I posted today about ICE lying is on TikTok, but I'll repost the same video on Instagram on Friday. So that's where the video is, Teddy. I apologize about that. And it's also going to be in the YouTube shorts. I'll make sure that we put it in the shorts. All right, guys, we got a lot of good questions here on TikTok. And if you want to join me on live on TikTok, please join. And also, guys, if you're watching this on TikTok right now and you're not following my account, please follow my account. The same goes for YouTube. If you guys are watching this video right now, please subscribe to our channel. And also on Instagram, please follow me so you don't miss any of the lives, because I try to announce them. We always have a live every Monday at 5, and there's always a spontaneous live on a Thursday or sometimes on a weekend. But on Mondays, I'm always here. So make sure that if you miss to ask me questions, you won't miss today. I want to know if I'm eligible for Eb2 national interest waiver. This is from Paravana. Good question. So the national interest waiver is a way for you to apply for the green card by yourself, without a job sponsor, without an employer, without investment. You need a bachelor degree or 5 years experience or a master's degree, and you need to have an endeavor, something that you do that will benefit the United States. And Parvana, if you want to know if you qualify, and any of you want to know, because many of you can do self-petitions and you're not even aware, all you have to do is go to the link in my bio, take the phone number. This is for TikTok. Screenshot it, send me a text right now and say, hey, I want to book a consultation to see if I qualify, if I am also a beneficiary for self-petition. And also for you guys on Instagram, on YouTube, do this. If you're watching this video and you want to see if you qualify for self-petition without a job offer, without an investment, just based on your skills and education, then you take advantage of the phone number, send me a text. I want to help as many people as I can. Oh yeah, I just answered your question, Teddy. I apologize about that. Let's see here. Lady Deb, I don't see a question. Here we go. Thanks, lady. I appreciate it. Is it safe to travel to Canada right now? Is it safe to travel to Canada right now? Well, is it safe? It depends. Do you have advanced parole? Do you have a green card? Do you have a visa? If you have a right to travel anywhere, just because they impose the tariffs and all that doesn't mean it's not safe to travel to Canada. What I'm worried about, and in particular, what I'm worried about is what's going to happen with the TN visas. Some clients are worried that they're going to cancel TN visas if there's going to be a shakedown between Canada, Mexico, and the US. How is it going to impact the NAFTA, the USMCA agreement? Does it mean that people who have TN visas are going to lose those visas? Should they apply for H-1B visas right now? I think they should. I think if you're on a TN visa, it's not a safe status right now, I think. I mean, we don't know how far they'll go, but honestly, we've seen so many crazy things that happen with this administration, so we don't even know, right? Let's see. My state is asking for citizenship when being pulled over. Is that legal? Anything can I do about it? So basically what he's saying, Stefan is saying that in his state, which state are you in? I'm curious to know. Jump on the live. If you want to go on the live on TikTok, I'll put you in the video. So in his state, police officers are asking for his citizenship. Guys, you don't have to tell your citizenship to a state police officers. Absolutely not. You can say, I assert my right to remain silent. I have nothing to hide, but I'm not going to answer the question about my citizenship or where I'm from. That's not for the police. That's not for state police to question. And even if ICE stops you, you don't have to answer that. Absolutely not. This is crazy that it's happening. I feel like a lot of these law enforcement agencies are going to start being more empowered to maybe take advantage of immigrants. I'm worried about that. I'm worried that some police officers, some bad apples are going to be, like we had a case where this couple was sitting in the park, and a police officer came and he put a flashlight on the car and he was asking for their IDs. And then when the boyfriend, who's a US citizen, gave their ID, and they asked for the ID from the girlfriend, but she didn't have ID. and the police officer went back to his car. Next thing you know, he called ICE to he called ICE, and then so ICE came and they arrested the girlfriend, right? And so we had to intervene and get all this, get media and all that to get her released. But why did this happen, right? There was no reason for ICE to get involved if that police officer didn't call ICE, right? So I think it's very important to be mindful, guys, of your rights, and be careful what you do and where you go and how you go about your day if you are undocumented. It is really almost like a mindset shift of you changing the way you conduct your life. And it's sad, but even something like telling people, well, have a plan for your children, have like a estate planning or some kind of a will or part of attorney. If they take you and you don't get to end up in court and they detain you for weeks, what's going to happen with your children? What's going to happen with your bank account? You guys need to have powers of attorney ready to be able to have everything in place. All you have to do is make a phone call and say, yeah, I have a power of attorney, my brother, my friend, my neighbor. Don't sleep on that. Do those things. You might not need to use those, but it's better to have this safety plan where you know that you're protected, and if something happens, you are safe versus being freaked out. And also make sure you prepare those documents. Prepare documents that you need for a bond hearing, right? Like, for example, like if you need to be released from detention, you have to show that you have a place where you stay, or that you're financially okay, or a family member can help you. So get those documents to trusted family members so you'll be okay if that happens. For Kifa is asking, for cases which are administratively closed awaiting I-130 processing, are they also concerned about deportation, which are administratively closed awaiting I-130 processing? So I think, again, on the general rule, you should be okay. However, and I made a video today, which will be posted on YouTube in the next 2 days, is that just because you have a pending case doesn't mean that you're safe from deportation, right? Normally, you should be safe from deportation, but it doesn't mean that you are. So keep this in mind, okay? It's not a slam dunk. Let's take some questions from Instagram. Mr. Joic, if you came to the United States on Esta, overstays, then marries a U.S. citizen and submits an I-130-45, will the receipt notice protect them from expedited removal? Yes. In those cases, yes, because they're married to a U.S. citizen and they're protected with that receipt. That's a really good question. So, because normally Esta, if you overstay Esta, you don't have the right to go to court. So if you came on an Esta and you overstayed, it's very essential that you do not get involved with ICE, because if they detain you, you're not eligible to go to court. Top Ibro says, I got married to a U.S. citizen, but we want to travel domestically to California. I'm here on a student visa, but out of status. Is it safe? I would say that for now it's safe, but after May, it's not going to be safe. Let's see more questions from Instagram. Does the expedited removal process apply to visa overstays under 2 years? Correct. Under the new procedures, it's under 2 years. Will the Lake and Riley Act affect a DACA renewal with 2014 arrest? Could be. We don't know how it's going to impact DACAs yet, but it could be. Really good questions on Instagram right now, guys. If someone came legal but overstayed for 10 years, this is from Amor Bernardo. If is there hope without getting married? I would just wait for the law to change, to be honest with you. Or if you get a U visa, right? All right, let's see who else is here on TikTok. We got really good questions here. And people want to go live. All right. And if you want to go live on YouTube, I'll post a link right here, and you can have that link. Here we go. Let me know where you're from and what is your question. All right. The guest is disappeared. All right. Can we close bank accounts with ITIN? I'm freaking out. I mean, you don't have to freak out. Like I said, you don't need to close those bank accounts. You just have to have a plan. If something happens, what's going to happen to your stuff, right? do you suggest for our principal to take U.S. citizenship to change our category from F2B to F1? It's hard to say because F2B and F1 sometimes they kind of chase each other. So I would wait probably after April to make the decision if you want to change those categories. Aspira, H-1B employees transferred to a new location where LCA wage is higher. Employer has not placed an LCA notice and hasn't filed amended petition. What do I do now? Well, you need to make sure that they do it. I mean, like I said, if the employer transferred to a new location, the wage is higher, they have to put, they're in violation. That's not good. It's not good at all. You need to make sure that they do that because it could impact you in the future if there's an ICE or DHS raid. Thanks, Sakura. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's get you back in here because you were cut off.
Hi, I'm sorry about that.
No worries, no
I have a
worries.
question.
Tell me.
When I get married to my U.S. citizen spouse, how long after should I apply, or should he petition for me after the marriage? Can we wait like 3 months or go right in? Like what?
So-
how long should I?
So are you here in the US already?
Yes, I am.
When did you come?
I came in January 2020.
Okay, so you've been
And I'm
here,
getting
you've been here,
married.
you've been here the whole time.
Getting
So
married this Wednesday.
got it. You don't have to wait at all. You get married, you get the certificate after a week. It takes a week to get
Yeah.
the certificate. You can file right away.
Okay, and I have another question. We're in New Jersey, and he did not file his tax this
Okay.
for last year.
Okay.
Which would have would that affect us?
Well, if he hasn't filed the taxes, we have to look at his financial to see what else we can include instead, or some kind of a
Okay.
statement. But it's fixable, I mean. But it's definitely an
Okay.
important thing. If you want us to help you, just use the number in my bio. More than happy to do
Of
that.
course. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thanks,
Have
Sakura.
a
I
good
appreciate
night.
it. You too. Good luck. Yeah, like financial documents are important, guys, because if your taxes are not in order, it will impact your green card case big time. And you need to know that for sure. Okay, can he close? Okay, here goes. I'm a US citizen appointed by Sibling. If he visits the USA and overstay, what will be the consequences? If your sibling will overstay, then well, he'll basically be stuck here. You won't be able to do anything, and he'll be obviously a target for removal. It's not a good thing to overstay. Obviously, I would never recommend that. Pretty good questions here. Really good questions here. My husband's work permit expires in April. We have green card marriage base pending. How can he renew it to keep working? He needs to renew it now. All right, he needs to renew now because it takes over 6 months to get these work permits renewed. That's what I would do, Rebecca. So if it makes sense, please do it. All right, so I think our YouTube stream is going to end in a minute here, but we will stay a little bit longer on TikTok. So to all our friends on YouTube, we'll be back here next Monday. Of course, keep following our videos. I post twice a week at least. A new video is coming up in the next day or so. Thanks for being here. If you have not followed my account yet, please do it right now. Subscribe. And the same thing for our Instagram friends. Make sure you follow my account. And also on TikTok, of course, make sure you follow the account. All right, guys. Thanks for the beautiful questions. And I will see you guys here next week on Monday, unless we have unless something crazy happens in between, which we'll do a sporadic live on YouTube and all the other channels. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.